Grisham was going like this. Yeah, we're going back. This is a big deal. I think he was seeing something, but I don't care. That's up to the Mariners, the pitcher and the catcher to knock it off or figure out why they got a tattletale on him. But he was obviously on those pitches, on anything that spun, his arms would come up.
So he must have been tipping his pitches, but
yeah, I think it's when it's in the glove. Remember how the Blue Jays pitcher got so pissed off at Cal Raleigh earlier in the year? They said he was tipping pitches to his hitters at second base. Same thing. Yeah. They're looking in when the pitcher comes set. The man on second base is seeing their grip.
Well, that's on the pitcher. You know what I mean? Is he showing his ass? But also, usually the old school managers, bench coach, another player on your own bench could pick it up too. They're supposed to be watching for this stuff all game long. But like somebody's watching your own pitcher to make sure he's not tipping. I mean, that's the thing that drives me nuts is when they're like, oh, somebody was tipping his pitches. It's like, how the hell nobody caught this?
Randy Johnson and Ichiro. It's like two ships in the night because they never played together.
I guess I shouldn't have thought this, but I wasn't picturing Ichiro in his uniform during the picture. But yeah, it's spring training and Ichiro's in his uniform. I mean,
I don't know if Ichiro has any other clothes. I remember back in the day when Ichiro pulled up on the scene, and he was already wearing that 51. I think the modern Mariners fan is always going to think of 51 as Ichiro's. Randy Johnson went into the Hall of Fame as a Diamondback, so as far as I'm concerned, that 51 is Ichiro.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would like to see them retire Randy's 51 as well. He did a lot for us, and I hope someday the Mariners do retire Randy Johnson's 51.
So my best friend, his name is Myron Sumner, and he's from Seattle, born and raised, from the Ballard area. He grew up, he loves you. He's very upset that I'm getting to talk to you right now, but he has a Mariners podcast called Rye Bread and Mustard, named after the famous saying.
Yes, by Dave Niehaus.
Dave Niehaus, yeah. But he's got some questions. I got a couple questions for you. I got two.
Okay.
It's a bit of a deep cut. You share a lot of stories about the Griffies, but I was wondering if you remember your experience supporting junior and senior at the Arsenio Hall show in 1990. What was it like sitting in the dog pound during the prime Arsenio run?
I do remember that. I don't remember how I ended up going to the show with them. Ken was so young. You know, when he would go places, he'd be like, man, come with me, come speak with me, come I'm going to a school, you gotta go. He was so shy. Now he can't quit talking. But seeing those two on there, that was pretty cool.
What's your go-to if we just had a big walk-off victory? Everybody's coming out of the stadium charged up. What's your go-to?
So I reel them in with some Michael Jackson, and then for Michael Jackson, I get them dancing with each other with Dance With Somebody. And then, we just keep the party going for a little bit. And then I got to throw in that Don't Stop Believing, just so the fans know, win, lose, or draw, we still support the Mariners. You know what I mean? That always gets them riled up. And then I take it to some more dancing. And then I sometimes have to stop because they won't stop dancing. So I'm like, all right, this is the last song. They're like, no.
Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast.
We have the one and only Mr. Tom Hutler. Do you have any of your favorite stories from the Kingdome?
There was a time we had an earthquake, and so they were going to evacuate the building. So I was getting up to go and leave, and they go, no, you can't go. You got to read these
safety things.
It's
do we need to tell them that there's smoking's only on the exterior ramps?
Yeah. And Dave came shooting past. He signed off. I'm going, wait, I'm the only one here.
Listen and subscribe to Rye Bread and Mustard, a Mariners podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready to play hardball in the Kingdome.
Take me to the ball game. I want to see the Ants. The Mariners are playing hardball. Did it again and again and again. Did it again.
Princess Tours, the vacation company, brings you the best show in baseball when the San Diego Chicken plays hardball with the Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles tonight in the Kingdome.
All
There we
right.
go.
The microphone is unmuted. That's
Jesus.
great. I stumbled all over that intro. So I got a mulligan here. If you listen to this on the podcast side, I guess I'll leave that in.
We went from 100 viewers on X to 8 now, so no, I'm
just in that?
teasing.
Yeah. Well, yesterday we had almost 3,000 people in here. We had it was like one of our best. Not one of our best. It was our best. YouTube where everybody was on there. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely awesome.
I'm expecting triple the numbers today. No,
Oh, it's going to be way down. And number one reason is because of me. I'm on it this time.
Yeah. They're like, why are we putting the closer in first here? Yesterday's episode. I know if you're listening on the podcast, it was, a nice, modest 42 minutes about the All-Star, about the Home Run Derby. Basically, just repeating the same things about how Cal Raleigh is God. This is Cal Raleigh country up here in Seattle. I'm actually doing this from the Boxcar Ale House, but no, we are not doing 3.5 hours. Hanno's only credited with 45 of those minutes, but he gets the save on that.
You guys are nuts.
Yeah, Vlad hit me up today, and he said he just probably wasn't feeling it, and I was like, that's fine. You put in 2.5 hours yesterday on this, and CJ actually has a hockey game today, 6:45 down there in the Valley of the Sun. We'll have to see how that turned out. No, but today we're doing this right after the All-Star game. In fact, I didn't get to see any of the post game here, Hanno. Who did they name the MVP? Because I was setting up on the other side of this bar.
I'll give you one guess first. Who do you think won it?
I would assume they're giving it to Rooker because he hit a 3-run jack, and then they didn't win the game. What am I talking about? Kyle Schwarber.
Yep. I was about to say, what happened to you in the last 5 minutes going back to the restroom?
Yeah. There's no smoking in the restroom here at the Boxcar Ale House. But yeah, shout out to the Boxcar Ale House. If you've not been here before, I'd say they have a couple of cool things. They have lots of cool things. I'll actually put their location up here on the stream, Hanno. But as you know, right behind me, if you can see this on the YouTube, they have a section of the wall that was purchased from the 25th anniversary season. I think that was a rough season. 25th anniversary. So what is that? 2012, 2011, 2012?
It's never good to do math on a podcast, so I'm gonna let you try to handle that.
that Ballard High School business math. You're not even gonna try to attempt it. We'll just say either way, if it was 11 or if it was 12 or anywhere in that particular time in Mariners history, I'm sure they got a good price. But Boxcar Ale House is in Magnolia. It's right there in the Inner Bay. If you have kids or what.
Gresham was going like this. Yeah, we're going back for this. It's a big deal. I think he was seeing something, but I don't care. That's up to the Mariners. You got to take off one of your screens to knock it off or figure out why they got a tattletale on him. But he was obviously on those pitches, on anything that spun, his arms would come up.
But he must have been tipping his pitches.
Yeah, I think it's when it's in the glove. Remember how the Blue Jays pitcher got so pissed off at Cal Raleigh earlier in the year? They said he was tipping pitches to his hitters at second base. Same thing. They're looking in when the pitcher comes set. The man on second base is seeing their grip.
Well, that's on the pitcher. You know what I mean? He's showing his ass. But also, usually the old school managers, bench coach, another player on your own bench could pick it up too. They're supposed to be watching for this stuff all game long.
Hanno,
but like somebody's.
Little technical difficulties. Martin's got a little too much going on, it sounds like, at the boxcar, but thanks for holding on.
And
so, are you back?
It's like two ships in the night because they never played together.
Yes, but you got something else playing at the same time. Turn it off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Oh, God.
I'm ready to just kill something listening to that stuff. Insane asylum.
Right, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I just killed our viewership.
Let me look and see. Yeah,
I killed it. I definitely killed our viewership. But we got to build it up. This is like a big losing streak. I had too many windows opened up. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I legitimately killed every single person that was listening.
It's all right. Let's just talk like we talk on the phone.
Let's pretend this didn't happen. Keep going.
Yeah. Cal Raleigh tonight, man. That first at bat, he had a laser to left, that hook and line drive. You know how that ball is. He played left field. I mean, he smoked that ball.
Oh yeah, he did. It was good to see him get a hit. All eyes are going to be on him, especially here in this Houston series, where anything that doesn't go his way, all the haters are going to point to the home run derby. So I'm hoping he gets off to a nice little start, but he also deserves a little bit of rest. Too bad we weren't playing a Pittsburgh Pirates or somebody where you're not all hands on deck. But no, it's the Houston Astros right out the gate.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good series. They're probably going to be throwing, they're going to set their rotation, probably have Hunter Brown, their all-star #1 guy. It's a good thing for the Mariners. It's going to be interesting to see how the Mariners set their rotation because they'll be able to line up all their guys any way they want, and we just really haven't even had that opportunity this year.
Yeah. What were some other big spots here in the All-Star game? We had Brian Wu went in there, had a clean inning. Andres Munoz comes in a sticky spot, keeps the American League into the game. Yeah, Randy Rosarena, 0 for 3. He was a part of a big automatic ball strike system coming into play right there in a huge situation. That was a great example. They couldn't have drew up a better example of how that can change a game, just like a missed call can on a strike 3 in a situation like that. Winning or go ahead run on second base, top of the 9th, 0-2. You don't get that call. You make the challenge. You do get that call. Threat is over with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cal started off the night with the ABS system challenging in that first inning. And, I mean, what's your thoughts? I love this ABS system. I think it's awesome. 2 per team. You keep your challenges if you win. I really enjoyed it, and all of the calls were borderline tough calls, so they weren't obvious that the umpire made a mistake. And like you mentioned, Munoz at the end, it saved his rear end. Otherwise, he was going to have the bases loaded. So yeah, I really like the ABS system.
Yeah, because if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong about it, which has happened, but we've ran our video that we made, where we were talking about Cal Raleigh is 9 for 9 at spring training. He was 9 for 9, so he's already good at that. And then he made one here, so he's 10 for 10 using ABS.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, but I saw it during spring training, and I think the thing I was most impressed with was just how quick it goes.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's efficient. Everybody can see it in the stadium and obviously on TV. I really like it. I think it's going to be a good deal and make the game even better. With all these rule changes after the couple years ago, that'll just be another one that I think is going to be real successful and positive for the game.
And I really love this extra inning home run challenge with the 3 guys from each team. It was it was interesting what the 3 picks were on the American League side.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great way, to try to break the tie. I mean, I knew that nobody had pitchers left. Was wondering what was going to happen, and it's kind of cool how both managers came out, announced their lineups. Obviously, it was just guys that were still in the game, from my understanding, and yeah, I thought also Randy, he came up, he got that interview nationally on TV, he looked ready to go, and earlier on today, you texted me saying, Randy, you just felt good about him in today's game, and he was going to hit a late home run. I mean, he did hit one in that instance, but I was thinking bigger things for Randy right there. But it's all right. He didn't make a fool out of himself. He got one in the books.
I was thinking, let's go back to that ABS call that was on Randy.
That too.
So he was up there, had the winning run on second base, and also I was going, oh, maybe I might be sitting on this 2-run shot, get the insurance run, and I was getting ready to go screenshot that text I sent you.
Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. That would have tied the game if he got a base hit. You're exactly right. I was trying to see who was left in the game and who was left in the National League to be able to pitch and what they were going to do. So, yeah, really excited. The game was kind of slow in the beginning. I really enjoyed it. It kept my attention, obviously, because Cal was catching. He got a few at-bats. Then Brian Wu was in there, looked dominant. And then the game kind of really took off. There was a big lead out by the National League, and then the AL chipped back. Pretty exciting game for an all-star game, including a random way to end it with the home run hit-off.
Yeah. I mean, that's so much better than throwing a ghost runner on second base. Imagine if that was what you were doing there.
Good point. What if they did it like that? That would be, so then, yeah, each team's bullpen coach comes out and throws to them in the 10th. That would be wild.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it
amazing.
that way.
They got that set up pretty good. I felt like I was at WWE where they have to set up the cage for the cage match. Now they just lower it down. But they used to have the crew come out there. I mean, they worked really quick. It was interesting. I was watching guys, step up to the box or whatever, and I didn't see a lot of coaches going like, here's the strategy. But what I did see was like production people walking up to them at the plate, with headphones on, clipboard in hand, going like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have you come over here. We're going to do an interview. You're going to get up here and you're going to hit. You didn't see anybody with a tablet out, obviously scouting a batting practice pitcher. Hey, and luckily the teams have, the teams from the American League and the team from the National League, the World Series winners last year, Dodgers, Yankees, they have their whole coaching staff gets to come. So how clutch was that having somebody there? I've seen Ebel throw so many batting practices living down in Southern California. It's great to see him back out there, pitch the winning pitch.
Yeah, and speaking of the pitchers, the coaching pitching, that Yankee bullpen guy, he looked pretty good too. And it's not like I don't think they had any warm-ups. They just came out and firing. So something, for the first time, I thought it ended up pretty well and went through pretty successful for a first time, with a big stage like that.
Yeah, it happened really fast. They had it set up, and then they have the L screen out there. I mean, it was like, oh, okay, this is a whole thing. And yeah, and it was awesome seeing all the guys on the sidelines. It was like we got a bonus home run derby.
Yeah, were you at all thinking that they might have Cal do it?
No, I think just because it's for an exhibition and he's already had enough. And also, why would you want to sour that? You go up there and you don't hit any out.
That's a good point. I just was thinking there's no chance because he was cold on the bench. That was my thinking going into it. But, yeah, what an all-star game. The whole week was really good. Did you happen to see any of the Mariners run down the red carpet or anything today?
I did see the Munoz with the. Actually, let's talk about that. Really good with this. I can't hardly wait soundtrack down here.
I don't know. Your volume was kind of going cranky on me for a little bit. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go to a quick break, and I'm gonna see if they can lower this music right here. I'm like next to a blaring speaker. Be right back.
Okay.
Mariners approved the script. We go down to Arizona, and we present the commercials to all the guys, and they all liked it. Buhner came in. He said, "Yeah, that's fun. I'll do that." Lou said, "Yeah, I'll do it if I don't want to take all damn day." So he said, "Okay, Lou, we'll get you in and out in an hour, I promise." And then Bosio and Randy came in together. So we showed Randy his commercial. You know, we had little storyboards. There's Randy dressed as a carnival knife thrower, you know, and he said, "Yeah, that's cool. I can do that." Bosio liked it, and he said, "Yeah, that's really neat. What do you got for me?" And he said, "Chris, you're going to love this. You're a gruff, tough, right-handed pitcher who doesn't back down to hitters. What's the occupation you're least suited for?" And I show him the picture, a ballerina in a tutu dancing to Swan Lake. And his smile turned to a frown. He goes, "Are you effing kidding me?" Meanwhile, Randy's laughing his ass off. He goes, "Give me that thing. I'm going to hang it up in the clubhouse." And Bosio says, "The hell you are." And he takes it and rips it in half. And he rips it in half again. And it's like, he says, "I'll do a commercial for you guys. I'm not going to do that goddamn commercial." Yes, sir. We got it. So we go back to the hotel. We have a few drinks. We try to come, because we're shooting in 2 days, come up with some ideas. So we finally come up with an idea that, again, the toughness of Bosio, but instead of a ballerina, he is a dentist who doesn't believe in Novocaine. You know
Right,
that? Yeah.
yes.
So he's pulling teeth from this poor guy. But there was, and you know, they were pretty well received, the commercials. But there was a lesson there, which is it's okay to have fun with the players, but don't make fun of them.
Right,
You know,
right.
And that's that line in comedy. You know, a cheap laugh isn't always
Yeah.
a good laugh.
All right, Hannah, I successfully got it turned down a bit. It was a bit too much for me to be doing this podcast and hearing Green Day's greatest hits cranking. You were talking about what the Mariners on the hitting the runway. I'm gonna go right here to their Twitter. I'm sure they got it all. They got everything on here. But I did see Andre Munoz and the cat. That was
yes,
probably
and
the
did you
biggest
notice
thing.
the cat was embroidered or on his glove as well?
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Here's a video right here. Brian Wu getting all-star content. That's pretty cool. I mean, why not? Look at that. They're walking around with steady cams. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Let's pull up. Here's a picture of all four of these guys. They're on the 710. You know how it's like the All-Star Four, the Fantastic Four. They're calling them the Fantastic Five. I mean, technically we did have five, but these are the four guys there. You got Brian Wu, Cal Raleigh, Rosarena, and Munoz looking nice. Let me see. Here's Andres Munoz. Is that up on the screen there? He's looking sharp. Didn't know he had a girlfriend. That's nice to know. And then, yeah, the cat. Did the cat? Oh, the cat was that just at his hotel room? He didn't take the cat to the red carpet, or did he actually? Here it is, Matilda. Well, it looks like the cat. It looks like he's on the premises, or she's on the premises, I should say. Oh,
yeah.
God.
But yeah, the Mariners, I saw, over the last couple of days, just tons of content as far as on the national stage on TV, with ESPN, MLB Network, Fox Sports, Fox. They got a lot of pub. Obviously, Cal Raleigh was the headliner, but saw a lot of Woo. Munoz did a nice interview with MLB Central in the morning.
His uniform and hitting BP in center field, so this is amazing coming back here for him.
Ooh, sweet Well, Jacob, I'm a little bit in a weird.
Thanks for having us on.
It's El Marte, who's knocked in the 2 runs in this game. Grounds his ball to second for Torres. Jacob, you hate striking out.
It's normal than better than playing against him.
Oh, we got guys. Hey, you guys had a 1-2-3 inning together.
Yeah. Uniform and hitting BP in center field, so this is amazing coming back here for him.
Ooh, switch. Yeah, boy. Jacob, I'm a little bit in a weird.
Thanks for having us on.
To tell Marte, who's knocked in the.
Was it playing the volume from the?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got.
I mean, I was just talking, and all of a sudden it's that. For all those thousands of listeners you had yesterday, they're not coming back after this. I mean, you started off walking the bases loaded, then you got out of it, and then you beamed the guy the next inning, and then they just hit a 3-run homer off of us. No, but it's all good. It's
all right,
fine.
I know you take the ball from me the rest of the way. No, I was just trying to show you his outing there.
Yeah, and it got announced. That's what's so funny.
I think we got some hate mail. Someone wants to know where's the game at. Well, the game's over with, Antonio Takeris.
And it's it was in Atlanta. Thank you for not killing us on there.
We only got one comment because I screwed everything up for everybody else. I was just trying to be a little extra and show a little breakdown of his pitching performance. But yeah, Wu pitched great. Munoz pitched good. Hey, they got I like this that the pitchers, those especially Munoz, it keeps him in rhythm. A high stakes situation. Sure, it's an exhibition game, but it's the All-Star game, right? A tense spot for him. So it's not like he was just sitting around all week, eating Friskies with his cat. He's out there.
I actually started becoming. Yeah. Watching him, I got a little nervous saying, God, I hope he finds his fastball this next series. I started getting concerned about him, like, I hope he gets on a roll in this second half. But, man, he got out of it, so he's electric, that's for sure.
He got out of the jam, unlike me here running the pod. Yeah, I'll tell you what was interesting listening to Dumper on Pat McAfee today. He was talking about when they were talking about the home run derby, and they were asking about the rules and stuff like that. And Dumper was advocating, and it was pretty awesome to hear him saying, like, hey, yeah, it's great to do the way you're doing it, but there are these massive home runs that we're not getting to even really marvel at and sit back and be like, wow, do you remember that one? And that's what we've been talking about. Like, those moments like where Griffey hit the warehouse, which is a huge moment, right? It just period in the home run derby and in the Mariners history and in Griffey's history. It's always on his highlight reel. Those are the kinds of things that would get missed at the way they do it now with the speed round.
Yeah, absolutely. Each home run isn't able to be, seen from beginning to end. And, like we said, we both enjoy that. It's a little bit better now where they tweaked it, going with the 27 balls in the second and third round. But, yeah, I would like to be able to see, the whole thing just like a home run. But, they speed it up. It has a little bit more to do with endurance and everything as well. But, I mean, the tweak they made was better. So,
yeah, I think what you're getting now is better than what you were getting where, it's the same old thing all the time. So I do like that there is a change to it. There are things that I'd like to see them do. I know they're trying to honor and they have been honoring the big bombs. It's just like, would O'Neal Cruz hit a 510-foot home run? I kind of didn't.
Just the only reason I knew it was because they mentioned it. But it was kind of like I saw it hit the roof there in right field, and then like 3 pitches later they mentioned that one was measured at 500. Yeah, it's something you missed. It's unfortunate, at the time.
Yeah, and that seems like that should be something that's more center stage.
Yeah, and highlighted, exactly.
Exactly. I get Major League Baseball thinking, well, maybe they'll go, well, you know what? Those massive ones will show in the replay, or the massive ones will run them back, and those massive home runs, social media and YouTube will take care of that, and we'll get the clicks right there. So I could maybe see it from that standpoint.
What I would change personally is the first round. I think it's way too long, way kind of boring. In a sense, I just think that, for 8 guys, it felt like 2 hours. And I just wish they would slim it up some and kind of condense it or whatever, just to keep the show moving a lot. Because once they get out of the first round, they just have those 4. I feel like the show gets better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dumper stuff. I actually was down on Occidental today, and people were down there buying Raleigh gear. I stopped by our flagship Tacos and Tequila, which we'll get into in a second. They are having a huge expansion. The bar formerly known as the Hawk's Nest that they own, that was the bar behind on the other side on First Street. They've now combined the two. They're going to be opening up probably around the Morgan Wallen, whatever his name is, Morgan Wallen, country singer. He's got a concert. He said they think that's when they're going to have the opening of the whole place. But Tacos and Tequila is still open on the Occidental side. Anyways, speaking of dumper stuff, I just wanted to show you this stuff. Hannah, our friends over at In the Clutch Apparel already have some new dumper gear out here. I'm kind of liking this. Tell me if this one comes up big on the screen. Dumper's House.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it better. That is cool.
That is cool. And you know what's even cooler? You can save some money if you want to get this by using promo code Rye Bread and Mustard, all one word. You don't need to use that space bar, just all one word. They also, if you're just like, I got 20 dumper things, I don't need 21 of them. Sure, I get it. They have all kinds of other Mariner or whatever team you feel fit to wear. Look at this. I will say this. Ooh. This J-Rod, what is this, a J-Rod Sonics jersey, but in the Mariners colors. This is kind of hard right here. What do you think about that?
When you were going through the catalog there, it caught my eye right away. That is kind of cool. I mean, for younger people, maybe. I mean, you're a pretty buff guy. You could probably pull it off, but I don't know about old myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, they got a Brian Wu one here, over here too. It is like what would you describe this one? Like a comic book one?
Absolutely, it reminds me of a comic book.
Woo! Do you dare think you are? I am. It's probably some comic book stuff that's over my head. And then we got the Dumpin' Dingers. I've seen this one. This one's kind of good. That'd be great to wear if you ever go to Boston to watch a game or when the Red Sox come to town, just to troll some Red Sox fans. And, they have the Nuke Rayleighs. Mitch says no. Wow. I want to know what kind of sales they have, though, here on this Mitch Garver one. This one's not on clearance yet. Well, anyways, they have. Is the Mitch Haniger one on clearance? Should be. But no, they got some really good stuff. They got all the teams: baseball, basketball, football, golf, and the mystery tees. So go check them out. In the Clutch. Put in the code, like we say, Rye Bread and Mustard. Save yourself some money. All right. Back to Cal Raleigh. Yeah, you knew you weren't going to see him in the home run derby, but you know who I thought maybe it just fantasy booking this. If you could we got one guy mano a mano, what if you just said Judge, grab a bat, Ohtani, grab a bat, let's go after it. It's only 3. It's not like a home run derby. That's what I mean. Or I didn't know what the rules were. You said it was people that were still in the game.
I mean, to me, it looks like that's how they picked them. I mean, maybe they could go to someone on the bench, but I was just figuring because they're all worried about injuries and guys getting cold and then having to come up and hit home runs, it'd be kind of tough. So that's just my assumption.
When the thing first started off, I was wondering if Rooker was going to get his redemption, because remember yesterday when I was talking to you, because you were watching the broadcast, we were on here streaming and seeing what was going on social media. some people have mentioned like it is pretty convenient that he hit a home run a tenth of an inch away. Because I thought they were talking about some sort of swing off, and then there was no swing off anymore. But that's what I'm saying. You look at Major League Baseball, you go to him and go, "Sorry, we got a problem. What is it?" Well, Cal Raleigh, the guy that we're pushing, who's one of the faces now of baseball, is in a virtual tie with another guy. Well, who's the other guy? Oh, actually, I don't know his name. Oh, it's Brent Rooker. Oh, yeah. He's in Oakland. Oh, they still have Sacramento. Oh, the guy who plays at the minor league field. And it's Raleigh. Okay. What are we going to do here? A tenth of an inch. Come on. I mean, so for him, if he ended up, he already had the 3-1 blast. Let's just say he hits all 3 of those home runs and the AL wins. Then he gets the AL or he gets the All-Star MVP. Then you would have had a really good discussion of like, what would you rather have?
True.
The home run derby? Or would you rather be the MVP?
Absolutely. You're right, though. I mean, why wouldn't you just have a swing off for 2 guys that are tied? I know in years past they've done something like that, I believe. I don't think from my recollection, I don't remember them going off of distance of the farthest home run, but it is what it is. But I agree. He had a great All-Star weekend, though, with the Derby, the game, and then, getting up there and being able to get those 3 pitches and hit 1 out to get him going. The first guy to do it, not easy to do.
No, everything was gravy for Cal Raleigh today. The hit was gravy. He got to catch a lot of awesome pitchers. They had him on the broadcast when they were talking to the pitchers and the catchers. And Cal Raleigh just mentioned. Let's talk about him. Even when he's not on the screen, when he's not up to bat, he's just been out there. And another thing I forgot to mention that he talked about on the Pat McAfee show, when he was just throwing out suggestions, he was like, maybe it's like a tag team thing. And I thought, man, that would be cool. Kind of some NBA jams, 2 guys from one team. How awesome would that be? Where you could just you could have Randy and Julio, Cal and Julio, or whoever. And, the focus on the 2 guys would be insane.
Absolutely. That is very creative. I've never thought of something like that, I like it. It's a different way of going about it.
Yeah, I have no problem of any of the experimenting in the All-Star games. That's what these are for.
Yeah, I mean, I've told you before, I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a skills competition, with guys throwing the ball to the plate from the outfield, or just any kind of skill competition you could do. But, it's probably wouldn't work out and doesn't go that fast. But that's what I enjoy as a baseball fan, seeing their skills, if they could bunt it perfectly. I mean, just another example. Nobody wants to see
bunting would be bunting would be fun. And the risk of injury on bunting isn't there with like maybe the throwing the ball, who throws the best dime, who does something in the hole.
Who could climb the wall the best?
Yeah, it just sounds like an organization's nightmare, But as far as some other things, yeah, that would be fun if they had some other skills. Like, yeah, the bunting would be fun. The tag team of players would be great because maybe you could stop or, let's just think about the tag team. You could have 2 players and whatever, they have 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever, and the other person can call timeout. I know or they could call timeout for themselves. Like, I'm in. I feel like you don't have it right now. Boom, I'm in. That would be kind of fun and interesting to see how that dynamic would work.
Absolutely. The strategy would be off the charts, trying to figure it out. And, you're right. There's a lot of teams or players here that had a couple guys from each team that would make it fascinating. You could think of one that just came to mind for me was Guerrero and Kirk, the catcher for Toronto. Those 2 guys, that'd be a wild combination.
Yeah. What if they just wanted to make it last and you did have the home run derby like they did at the end, but you have to pick the guys with the least amount of home runs? You know?
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you'd have like little O, Omar Vizquel, you know,
As he
or
chokes
Kenny,
up, yeah.
or Kenny Lofton versus
Tony
Brett
Fernandez.
Butler. Yeah, Tony
Yeah.
Fernandez. Yeah, it's just we're gonna put the guys up there that don't hit home runs. You
Dude,
know,
I'm
yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. That was a good pull on Brett Butler. He was in every All-Star game as a kid, man, and he would, get that bunt down and drag it with him. He was a fixture at All-Star games for the Dodgers.
Dodgers, San Francisco Giants. He was always in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Atlanta did a good job. I really like these uniforms, even though I know on the live stream we were like, "What is? Did these jerseys say Al on them?" The AL. But I thought that the uniforms this year, just the way they did it and the way they let them wear their regular uniforms during the games, I kind of liked it. I do like when they were all wearing the uniforms. I think I started to turn kind of sour on everybody in the uniforms, honestly. And I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I didn't like the Seattle ones. I didn't like what they did here a couple of years ago. But this year I noticed that they had, I think I read that we talked about it yesterday, maybe the number 3 was to honor Babe Ruth. And then all the 44s were to honor Hank Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was great. Finally, like you mentioned, the All-Star game, each guy was wearing his team jersey. They got away from that from a few years, so that was a massive upgrade, and I'm glad that's back. Yeah, that's funny you mentioned Al on the uniforms. Simply Seattle came out with a shirt that looks exactly the same, and they added a C to it, so it says Cal. That's pretty funny. The whole numbers, remembering Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron is okay. I kind of just would rather just see them wear their own numbers with their name. They had their name on it with 44 and 3s, but whatever. That's just my opinion. And I mean,
just another thing to sell, man. Just another thing to
exactly.
sell. Another thing to buy. I also. Again, the announcing by Pat McAfee for the home run derby is definitely something that I hope they do bring that back. I do like the real staged up. This is a big deal. Taking from, I feel like NBA All-Star games and WWE wrestling, and I thought the production that they did was excellent for the home run derby. And this game, you got to see that stab there in the 9th inning where on Jazz Chisholm hits the ball down the line and Olsen makes that great first baseman's play. And you had the ump cam. Did you see that version of that from the ump?
Yeah, it made the play even cooler. Yeah, I agree with you. And then, they kind of even, from what I remember, spiced up the introductions. And I love the introductions. I mean, I'm not personally in favor of how they did it, but it's okay. It's cool to have Ludacris and them out there. And then, the players come out of the dugout and walk through a bunch of dancers and stuff like that. It's okay. I'm a big fan of seeing the introductions, though. So, did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch the introductions today. I did miss that part.
Yeah.
Did they? Is there an announcement of where the All-Star game is next year?
I was wondering myself. I would like to know.
I can Google that. I can do that. I just want to make sure I don't pull it up on the screen, and
and we'd have strike 3. We're screwed up. We're out of the game.
Dude, I already killed. Thanks you to all the people that are still watching, because I know I did kill the viewership. It's safe to say we're down from the near 3,000 from the day before. The 2026 home run derby, and they might use this Kyle Schwarber home run as some marketing. The guy that brought home the NL title will also bring home the All-Star game to the 2026 Philadelphia Phillies. They're going to be having it in Philly. I think they've ditched, and I want to say they've ditched the whole American League, National League, and I know things kind of got changed around from COVID, and then you also had when they pulled the game out of the All-Star, out of Atlanta. I think they put it in one of our favorite places, Coors Field. Great place for an All-Star game, especially that time of season. But yeah, I think they did that.
I'm glad you looked that up. That's a great small little ballpark in Philly. There's going to be a lot of home runs. I'm already thinking, is Cal going to try to repeat, you know? So he would do very well in Philly.
I wonder if you get one, if you're, you know, do I want to get 3 like Junior? I just want to be like, that was good enough in my epic season that I'm having, and just be like, that was great. My brother, my dad, and just go on to the next achievement. So that'll be interesting to see what he does.
Yeah, you're right. Why screw up, you know, the ultimate experience? You won, you had your dad and brother. I'm kind of with you. Why do it again, you know?
And you just kind of go
a few years off.
Yeah, we're just like, hey, let's make another star for this league. You know, because that's really, that home run derby is the thing that really launched Julio into who is this guy to everybody else outside of Seattle. And it's doing it here, obviously, with Cal. So, you know, it is a face or star making thing.
So I know you would probably want to wrap it up here real quick. I got one question for you, kind of. Cal's got 38 home runs. Now, what do you think he's going to finish off the season with?
Well, you'll probably ask me this question tomorrow when we do our second half, but for now, and it might change by tomorrow. That's why you got to tune in, right?
Yeah.
But I want to say he's not going to have as torrid of a second half because of a couple of factors, and one of them's you're not going to be getting pitched to as much, but that also, there might not be any way around that if the Mariners continue to hit the way they are hitting. You got to pitch to them, because then you don't want to pitch to another all-star, and you don't want to pitch around the all-star in front of them. But I'm going to say he's going to end up with 54 home runs.
Wow. Nice job. I was thinking around that area, and then I agree with everything you say. I just think he can probably hit 20 more and get 58.
Yeah, those are good
numbers. There's about 66 games left, I believe. So
I'm going to say 54, and you're going to say 58. But I'm rooting for him to break the record. I'm rooting for him to get over 60. I would love it if he could beat Babe Ruth or Judge's record, you know, so that you could be like, you beat every, steroided up player. I mean, I love Barry Bonds, and I love that era. So I don't get so down on Big Mac, and I don't get so down on Barry Bonds. But I mean, if you can pass Judge and you can pass Maris or whatever, that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as he beats the catcher record, which he's very close to, with Salvi at I think 48, right? Whatever, but I think he's going to have a pretty good second half. But I agree with you; he's not going to get. I don't think they're going to be, at the pace that we've seen, and he's not going to get pitched to like he did. So.
Yeah, like I said, I think 14, 15 more home runs would be a nice second half. I mean, right now, if you just said at the beginning of the year, Cal's going to hit 38 home runs, you've just been like, where do I sign? Period. For an entire season. He's already crushing his season record. Now, the big accomplishment is, can he get this team back into the playoffs? Can he stay in this MVP race? Because the longer he stays in this MVP race, it's going to favor him. If he can stay this close in the conversation longer, then you go, oh my God, and he's the catcher. And oh my God, and he got that team into the playoffs. And oh my God, he won the home run derby. Sure, we're not supposed to count that, but come on. These are human beings voting. Everything counts. Everything counts.
Well, this is a good way to start tomorrow's show and give a little tease. I think it's going to be for talk about the MVP. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half in a situation the Mariners haven't been in as far as having a single player, but having the team down in the race. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of my opinion on it.
Yeah, we're going to call it our bounce back show. We had a big victory. We had a big victory yesterday, just like the AL. We had it. We lost it. Hey, I do want to mention something else.
We just got to take 2 of 3 in the series, Myron. Remember that. We win series.
Yeah, yes. Just
today was an L. It's all right.
Listen, but it's a W for the people that stuck on here. But yeah, I did kill the viewership with that 5-minute. What the fuck is going on? What did you say? You were about to go insane?
Yeah, it was just so hard. I couldn't, say anything to you, and it was just really loud. I think I was hearing 2 things at once. It was driving me absolutely batshit crazy.
One thing that we did not get to, though, I want to talk about it because it's All-Star. Can you, right off the top, well, not off the top of your head, you can count, how many current Seattle Mariners, and let's throw Julio in there because they talked about Julio, he made the team, so add him. How many current and former Mariners were in this All-Star game?
Okay,
and
let's
count them out as we do it. Julio.
Diaz.
Edwin
Diaz. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Just for to not get maybe some people confused, let's just start with our Mariners first.
Oh, okay.
The current Mariners, we had Julio was selected. We obviously had Cal Raleigh, Brian Wu, Randy Arozarena, and Andres Munoz. So there was your 5. Tell me former Mariners that were there.
Diaz, Suarez.
Edwin Diaz. Eugenio Suarez. I know another one. Ketel Marte.
Yep. That's 3.
I know another one. Robbie Ray.
Yep. I remember seeing him.
That's 9.
Yep. I was doing the same thing. I'm glad you brought this up.
You could field a team. 9.
Oh, absolutely. I'm trying to go through the outfield. Yeah.
And then the other thing we have to talk about before you get out of here, because you actually, I think you shared this on our X page. It was something from KJR of like how Cal Raleigh, what was this? He didn't beat anybody.
Yeah,
in the home run derby. There's the names.
Shock Jock radio host has got that East Coast style. He just bagged on Cal, and I just thought it was a stupid thing. He's the guy who took over for Puck when he left. So
is this the guy that already got himself in trouble for
Ryan Roland
going
Smith
in on Ryan Roland Smith?
Yeah.
This guy's just an idiot, huh?
Same guy.
So do you just listen to him because you have to listen to him?
Me, no. I listened to Puck during that time.
Now listen, I'm going to play the video because.
So then I started thinking.
I'm going to turn it off.
So then I started.
But this is what you're talking about.
So then I started thinking more about the home run derby last night, and it kind of just hit me. House, of course, won the home run derby. If he didn't win the home run derby, it would have been disappointing. Cal didn't face anybody. There's no Shohei Ohtani. There was no Aaron Judge. There was no Pete Alonso, Bryce Harper, Ronald Acuna. If Sam Darnold won a passing skills contest, but Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts didn't participate, would you really think that Sam Darnold was better than any one of those guys? No, you wouldn't. I mean, yeah, but I certainly going to do my research on O'Neal Cruz, Brent Rooker, and Junior Caminero. I'm certainly going to do my research on these.
Yeah, so that, I mean, why even say something like that? But I get his point of like, well, there wasn't any huge superstars in it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like that anyways, because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But Cal has no control over that for one, so it's not worth even bringing up. But I do agree, like, hey, there's pressure, and I think the pressure was, hey, you're leading MLB in home runs, and you're in the home run derby, and yeah, you are in this competition with, I guess, inferior home run hitters this season. Sure, there's the pressure right there. And bringing your dad and bringing your brother there, he put a lot of pressure on himself, and he came through on it. So there's nothing negative about this home run derby win or anything to poo-poo at. But you got somebody who's local. That's something I'd expect out of like a New York person, that's hating on
New York
him.
fan,
Or
exactly.
Or a Dodgers fan that's like, Ohtani's the best home run hitter or something. Not your own person.
Yeah, I agree. It was he fumbled it again, especially, for a team that hasn't had much going on for them for many years, hasn't gotten in the playoffs, and to have such a big moment for their star player and just to rag on his accomplishment. It was shitty.
It was stupid. It was just dumb. It made no sense. Anyways, we'll probably bring it up tomorrow on our show. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be together tomorrow, right? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I'm running the board.
Yeah, you're running the board. We'll be somewhere up in the Edmonds region. I'm gonna come north in this historic hot heat that we're having here.
That's
in
right.
the upper 80s. Yeah.
I heard 90 tomorrow.
We might have to go down to the cabin because we know they have an AC.
Do they really?
We definitely need to go somewhere that has strong air conditioning.
I just figured like the cabin wouldn't have AC for some reason.
They do. They have like one big one up on the wall there. But we'd have to have our show wrapped by 10 o'clock, which I hope to anyways, but it's 10:08. Anyways, we'll be back tomorrow. Hannah will be running the board. A little bit of a step down from the thousands of people that were watching yesterday. We did have Antonio Tirikas say, "Where the game at?" Anyways, this is our all-star post-show bonus episode that you may or may not listen to. And anyways, with all that being said, Hannah, you know what time it is. Charge. I even fumbled our cue that we do countless times.
Don't beat yourself up tonight there, Myron. It was okay, pal. We'll get him tomorrow.
All right. Here we go.
How about that?